Welcome back to TYT Sports, everybody. We are going to continue with some fantastic NBA clips. And of course, when we talk about fantastic NBA clips and you see just this face, it means about 1,000 miles away. Dr. Andre Snelling is coming in to discuss some more basketball with me as well. We're shooting this on Wednesday, the day after the U.S. presidential election took place. To say that we are ecstatic is not true. But what can we talk about that will make people happy? Basketball, because ball is life, and believe it or not, even though there was an election, there was also basketball on Tuesday. And for the last 2 weeks, at least a little bit of overreaction. We're only about 10 games into the season, 8 games in for most teams. The Los Angeles Lakers look like they have figured something out. Now, here's some things that we know. Byron Scott, the Kobe Bryant babysitter, who preaches defense and never had a team that really could ever crack the top 20 in defensive efficiency, is out the door, and Luke Walton came in, and that means more of a free-flowing offense. A lot of guys get the green light to shoot the three ball. It also has to be put on the fact, at least I think, that this young core of these Jordan Clarksons, Larry Nance Jr.'s, Julius Randle, who I'm going to actually ask Andre some questions in just a second about, because I think he's been phenomenal all year. D'Angelo Russell, they're one more year in the league. They have one more year under their belt. So some of it is just development, but they're being developed correctly. Andre, let's start with that young core. Julius Randle, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, who's in there now. What is it that's going on that's working for the Lakers to the extent of at least being just above 500 at the 500 mark, around that?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Well, I guess for one, I got to correct your geography. I'm pretty sure I'm further than 1,000 miles from you. I think it's got to be, 2,000-3,000 miles from LA to Michigan. But anyway.
I'm looking at that.
Really far. But,
wait, you're not just in Salt Lake City? No.
But, yeah, as far as the Lakers, it seems like Walton is doing a good job of kind of translating the Warriors' philosophy to the Lakers' talent. If you look at their team, I mean, if you just go down their per game stats, look at scoring. Mm-hmm. You got D'Angelo Russell as their leading scorer at 15.4 points. Then Lou Williams at 15.3. Then Jordan Clarkson at 15.1. Then Nick Young and Julius Randle tied at 14.5. So what that's telling me is that they've built this kind of equal opportunity, egalitarian type system where, and it's mainly perimeter based, a lot like the Warriors. The offense is driven by the perimeter. The big men and I guess the forwards and the bigs for the most part are kind of dirty work players. They're defending. They're doing the things that don't necessarily show up in all the box scores. And they're also, one other thing that I noticed is that their bench has been really strong. If you look at the plus minus numbers of their starters, their on-off plus minuses are all negative, which is saying that the team is outscoring their opponents when they're on the bench. Whereas if you look at their bench guys, most especially Lou Williams, he's up at like plus 20 something on off,
right.
Which is, to me, is indicating that they're doing a lot with balance. And also maybe that Lou Williams being the most veteran of the guards on the team, maybe when he comes in, he's kind of helping stabilize the ship a little bit as well.
Yeah, and these are all, I love that you're mentioning the on-off court plus minus, because it really does dig in a little bit more to see how much the starters have the effect and the bench has the effect. Another interesting point that I found with the Lakers, their minutes per game. Luke Walton has done, I would think, a terrific job so far of really making everybody get a taste of that court. I think if I have this correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys averaging 20 or more minutes a game, but nobody averaging more than 28.3. That being Julius Randle on the court more than anybody else. And Jordan Clarkson, who is technically coming off the bench in most of these situations. The other interesting thing I found, Larry Nance and Lou Williams, like you mentioned with the on-court, off-court plus minus, they also have the only guys in the team with an above a 20 PER. So I think it's a combination of a few things. It's the rotation. I think Luke Walton is a good coach, and it wasn't just that he had some unbelievably talented players last season, the MVP at his disposal, a great shooter in Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green being the real MVP of that team at times. This year, he's just taking over and making the Lakers fun again. I guess is what we can call it.
You came real close to trumpet
I'm
right
getting
there.
really close. We're getting too close. Look, here's
It's
what
too soon. It's
look,
too
if we
soon,
want to
way too
get close, we could just do the Stan Van Gundy. We're going to build a wall. We're going to make the NBA pay for it. Stan Van Gundy has literally said these things. But so, again, when it comes down to the Lakers, I think this is very good for the NBA that the Lakers are going to be rising up to the spotlight. And as I mentioned in the email over to you before we did this clip, you know, we talked about this exact topic, which one of these meccas of basketball is going to be returning the glory first. And the complete overreactionary way to do it is say, well, 7 games, that speaks for enough sample size. The Lakers are going to win the championship next year. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But I also did see, and I guess we can talk about this for half a second because we're going to have to wrap up and go on to our Eastern Conference as a disaster clip, which will also be up this week. You guys can check out. Joel Embiid's per 100 possession numbers?
Yeah.
I know. 4 games. You talked about this in the Hoops Lab yesterday.
Yeah.
Not a typo, right? We're reading that correctly?
Not a typo.
Not a typo.
You're reading it correctly.
That's real.
That happened.
That's happened. He's fun, man.
He's fun. I mean, like I was saying in the Hoops Lab, he's fun to watch. I started writing that lead because I had watched him. It was like, man, this dude is balling. Then I looked up his per 100s, and it was like, holy snap! Like,
right,
I know
we all emailed
5
Basketball
games,
Reference.
But dang.
We all emailed Basketball Reference and said, like, you guys, it's not right. You can't screw with us like that. It's like there's too many people. Somebody I think on Reddit did say, like, I think someone broke Basketball Reference, and his name is The Process. He also had the best tweet after the election. Whether you voted or not, all we can do now is trust the process.
Trust the process.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there because I'm happy you wrote that up in the Hoops Lab also because, Jesus, that's something. Hold on to your hats, people, because Joel Embiid is here and hopefully here to stay. All right, so comment below on the Los Angeles Lakers. What do you think that they're doing right? Audience comment section. What is it that you see? Laker fans out there, who do you think is going to take the charge as the best player on that team going forward? Do you think Julius Randle will keep up these fantastic start to a season? D'Angelo Russell? And should they only be wearing those 1970s jerseys? Yes, they should. Make sure to follow Andre at Professor DRZ. I encourage you all. I'm going to leave the link to the description to an article regarding Tuesday's election in the comment section below. I think it's a very important read, and I would encourage everybody to go read that. Make sure to interact with Andre, TYT Sports, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time.